Okay. Today we'll be elaborating on string and shortcut rules in Java, and we'll be doing some few more examples today. So in today's session, we'll be discussing string. So as we have discussed in our last class, that string is a predefined class, and anything written within a double quotes will be treated as a string object. Now I'm making one example, and here in this example, I am creating one string object. Say string A is equals to new string. So as we discussed that string is a class and we can use new keyword with the class name, and say I am writing Parag over here. It is not giving me any error, and if I write string B is equals to Parag, then also it is not giving me any error. This is also right, this is also right. If I go back to my data type example and if I write over here, that is byte v is equals to new byte, it will give me the error. You cannot use new keyword. You cannot use new keyword with a class name. It is giving me the syntax error that it is not a class, it is a data type. But but a string is a class type of the data, so we can write new with it, and it is a special class. A string is a special class. Even if I'm not writing new with it and I'm writing the double equal to, then also it will treat it as a string object. So let us first run this much. If I write system.out.println a, and again if I write b, and you'll see a and b will give me the same result, that is Parag. Both are holding the Parag. Both are giving me the same result. But if I compare both of them together, like we have done in our last class, so we have compared the string by using double equal to. Sorry, the data using the double equal to operator. If I use the same thing over here, A double equal to B, it means I'm comparing A is equal to B. And if I print say match or else not match, then what will be the output? As both are printing Parag, so we are expecting the output to be match. But if I run it actually, then I think it will print me not match. So let us try to run it and check it. Both are printing Parag, but when I'm matching it, it is giving me the output not match. Now what is the reason behind it? I will tell you after 5 or 10 minutes. So let us write it as case A. Again, if I write again case B, one more case, and if again I write say string X is equals to Parag and string Y is equals to Parag. Again, I am making two string objects and I'm storing Parag into it. But here I'm not creating new. Here I was creating new and then I'm writing without new. Here both of them I'm writing without new. And again if I compare it in the second time, that is x is equal to y, and then if I again print it to check it, now you'll see it will give me the message match. Match. Now it is giving me match. I will explain why it is giving. Let us write one more case C. Again if I write string m is equals to new string, and string n is equals to new string. Now again I am creating two string, and in both the cases now I am using new. And if again I compare it, that is m is equal to n, and check it, now again you will see it will give me the message not match. Again it is giving me message not match. Now what is the reason behind it that we have to understand? First of all, double equal to should be used to compare the primitive type of the data. First of all, if I want to compare the two strings, two int or float or double or byte, then we should use double equal to compare the primitive type of the data. But a string is a non-primitive class type of the data. When I use double equal to, it will not compare the content, that is a and Parag and Parag. It is not comparing Parag and Parag. A is a reference variable and B is a reference variable. And when I'm comparing A is equal to B, what it is doing? It is saying A and B refer to same object Parag. What it is saying, what it is thinking, when I comparing double equal to, what it is saying A is a reference variable. You were disconnected. Okay, my screen is visible. Okay, okay. So when I'm doing this double equal to, it is not comparing the Parag and Parag. Actually, what it is comparing, A is a reference variable, like we have done over here. My home is a reference variable. Your home is a reference variable, which is referring to this class. Similarly, over here, string is a class type of the data. And when we are comparing A is equal to B, it is not comparing Parag and Parag. It is saying A and B refer to the same object Parag. The answer is no. Because whenever we create a new will always create a new memory. So here it will create the new memory, and again equal to Parag, it will create a new object. So it means it will create the two Parag objects. And when I'm comparing A is equal to B, it is giving me the output not match. Now, in the second case, when I'm writing without new, it is giving me the output match over here. The same concept is applying over here, that is x and y refer to same object Parag. Now here it is giving me match, because when x is assigned this Parag, the Parag object is created in the memory. And when again I write y is equal to Parag, the Java will say that this Parag object is already available. So it will not create the new Parag object. Here it was creating the new Parag object and again Parag object two times. But here in the memory, This Parag object is already available and X is referring to this Parag object. And when Y is equal to Parag, so it will say, I will not create a new Parag object. You can refer to the same object only. So it means here two objects are not making. So hence it is not a duplication of the memory. Single object will be created. And when I'm writing X is equal to Y, again it will say X and Y refer to the same object. Here X and Y is referring to the same object. So it will give me the output match. And in third case also, when I'm creating new, so it means two Parag objects are created. And again, when I say M is equal to N, it is assuming that M and N refer to same object. And the answer is no. You are disconnected and connected again. Any network problem? Okay. Okay. So I think है ना, what I'm explaining, you are understanding it, है ना? If you want to repeat it, okay, okay. So M and N refer to the same object, and hence it is not referring. It is again creating the duplicate objects. It is creating two objects over here, so it will give me the message not match. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that double equal to does not match the content. It matches the memory actually, because string is a class type of the data. So hence string should not be compared by using double equal to. Now how to compare the string? To compare the string, we should use one method that is called equals. And if you want to compare the equals ignore case, then it will be case insensitive. That is, capital and small letters will be ignored. Otherwise, you can use equals. So I use equals instead of double equals to. Now I am using a dot equals b. Here also, if I remove double equals to and write dot equals, so equals is a method of string class. When we write dot, so dot means it will call the method. Dot means it will call the method. Equals, like this. So equals is a method of string class which compare the content of the object and returns the true and false. So now here it will compare the content. Even if I have written new, or I have written without new, or I have written one with new and one without new, whenever I use dot equals, it will always compare the content and will give you the correct result. Now all the three are coming match, match, match. Hence, when we are comparing the primitive type of the data, byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean, then we use double equals to. But if I want to compare the string type of the data, then it is better to use equals than double equal to. And why double equal to is giving me the error, I think I have explained you. So if you have doubt, then you can ask me. Okay. Now, should I proceed? Okay. Fine. Now I'm making one more example. Say login. I'm creating a login example, adding the main method, and again I will make one user defined method, say public void check member. Now this is my method which we have already discussed in our last class, that we can create our user defined method. This is access modifier, this is return type, this is the name of the method. Now if I want to check the member or not member, then again I have to take the input from the user and what input I want to take, what is your user ID and what is your password. And if these user ID and password exist in my database, then it means you are a member, otherwise you are not a member. So I will in this I will take two input. Again, I will take two input of user ID is a string type of the data and password is again a string type of the data. String means which can have characters, numbers, special characters, everything. So it means user ID and password will be string type of the data. Now here again, if I use if, because right now I do not have any database with me, so I will just use a dummy data. If UID, if I use double equal to, again for understanding, if UID double equal to Parag and means both conditions should be true, and PWD Saxena. So now again I am using double equal to compare the input. If UID is having the input of Parag and PWD is having the input of Saxena, then I'm just printing the message. Not mem. Now to take the input from the user, I have to use the scanner class. So I will import. Import should be the first line of the program, मतलब कि before the class. Import java dot util dot scanner. Okay. So scanner class we have discussed in our last class. Main is my entry point of the program from where the execution starts. So I will take the input from the user at runtime. So how many inputs I want to take? Only only one input. Just a second. Okay. So I will make the scanner sc is equals to new scanner. Okay. The scanner sc is going to scanner like we have done in our last session. I want to take the input from the user, so I was taking the scanner sc new section. It is a predefined class, and then I was giving the prompt. So similarly, I will give the prompt, and that is enter user ID to take the input from the user. In the previous example, I was taking the input of int type here. It was returning int type of the value. But here I require a string type of the value, a string. So I will use another method, that is next. So scanner class method is next method. Now it is returning a string type of the data here. So this is my input one. In the previous example, it was taking only one input because here we were using number to check the input. So it was taking only one input. But here I want two input, that is I want password also. For that again I will give the prompt enter password like this. And next int will take the input from the user and store it in password like this. So it means it is my input number one, this is my input number two, and scanner class will be initialized one time only. And now both the input I have to send to my here check member. For check member, I have to initialize my login class Okay, login class is initialized. Like, so now scanner is my predefined class. This is my predefined methods, and login is my user defined class, and check member is my user defined method in which I am passing this user ID as an input and password again as an input, and I am calling this particular method which I have defined over here. Again I will run it. It is giving me the prompt enter user ID. I will enter the user ID Parag. Like in the previous example, we were entering the number. Now I will enter the string Parag. Now enter the password. Again, I will enter the password. Say Saxena. So I have entered the right username Parag and Saxena, but it is giving me the output not member, because again we are comparing it by using double equal to. If I use instead of double equal to, if I use dot equals to compare with the another string, to compare with other another string, and now if I check it again, now we are not using double equal to. Again I will take the input Parag. Again I will take the input Saxena, and now it is giving me the member. So it means we should always compare the string by using equals to get the correct result. Now in the same example, this is my method to check the member. I will make one more method to do the shopping. Say shop, and this shop method, I am not taking any input. I am just writing one message, that is done shopping. So now this is another method shop which I have defined over here. So I need to call it. So again if I write L dot shop, so it means again I am calling the second method. A class can have multiple methods, and method divide the program into different sections. Each section perform the different activity. Now if I run this program again and enter the user ID, and I enter the user ID say Ram, enter the password say Sita. So it means I am not entering the correct user ID and password. Correct user ID and password is Parag Saxena, but I am entering Ram Sita. So it is giving me not member. But here I am getting done shopping. So done, if he is not a member, how can he do the shopping? So it means this particular method should be dependent upon this particular method. Now I want to pass the value member or not member to this shop method, so that if this particular method is processing member, then only I should get the message done shopping. Otherwise I should get the message cannot do shopping. So it means I want to pass the data of this method to this method. For that particular purpose we use the return type. Now instead of returning void, what I can do, I can do the return type of say string. So now this method is returning a string value, not void. And for that I can make one string, say something say status, and I'm assigning it with null value. So I've created one string status, but it is holding nothing. Null means nothing, nothing. And if I come to the if, I will assign it as a member. If it goes to the else, I will assign it as a not member. And at the end of the code, I can write return status. Return should be the last line of my method. So it means now this method is returning a string type of the value. We have discussed in our method type that we can return primitive type of the data, int, long, float, double boolean, or we can return the string type of the value. Here also, if I want to return boolean instead of string, I can write the boolean also, true and false. Okay. Now, when I call this particular method again, check member, it is returning string. So I can store the value in a string. Yes. So it means now when this method is called and it will process the result, so it will return the status value to this s. So string s will be status. And what will be the status? Either member or not member, which now I can pass to my shop method. So here I can pass the input, say m. So it means this s value I can pass as an input to the next method, that is s. And here now I can check m if m dot equals member, then done shopping, else cannot do shopping, like this. So it means when this method is called, we are passing the input to the method, which it is processing and returning the status as a member or not member. The status value will be returned to this variable s, which is the return type of this method. And now when we call the shop method, we are passing it as an input to the next method. And here m value will be assigned the value of this s, whatever the s is. And if it is a member, then it will run shopping, otherwise cannot do shopping. Again, if I write Ram, Sita, not member, cannot do shopping. And if I write Parag, Saxena, member, done shopping. Understood the meaning of, basically objective of example is to explain you the meaning of equals, how to take the input using the scanner again with for a string class, and what is the objective of this return type. Okay, understood? Fine. I am proceeding further. Okay. Okay. Now, next thing is that string is immutable. Immutable means unchangeable. Now, what is the meaning of immutable, unchangeable? say if I make a string n is equals to ram. So now I say this n is immutable. बताओ क्या हुआ? That is unchangeable. मैं कह रही हूँ कि कल एक तारीख है. पता है मेरे को. अभी बात करें. Unchangeable. String n is equal to ram. Ram is a string and n is assigned with this value. And when I say n is immutable, n is a variable of string type. And when I say n is immutable means n is unchangeable. It means the value of n is assigned with ram, which cannot be changed. For example, if I write n dot, I will get the list of the string methods, which we already discussed. When we write dot, n is a reference variable, string is a class, we'll get list of the methods. From here, if I use one method, say concat, and again I'm writing Chandar. So I'm adding Ram is a string, and with that string I'm adding one more string Chandar. So I'm making Ram Chandar as a string. So it means now I'm making the modification to this n, that is I'm adding some value with this Ram. But if I print this n value, if I print this n value, let us see if I get a Ram or if I get a Ramchandar. You see, I get a value Ram only. I do not get the value Ramchandar. But if I see this concat method, it is returning a new string. Return type is again a string class. So if I store this value in the new string m, so it means now this m is assigned is equal to the assignment operator. M is assigned with the value of n dot concat Chandar. So it means m is now assigned the value Ramchandar. But again, m is immutable. That is unchangeable. But if I print m, now I will get Ramchandar. Ramchandar. But again, if I make changes to this m, say m dot to uppercase, so again it means we are making this m string to the capital letter, uppercase. It means we are making the modification to this m string, but it will not be reflected. Only small. But again, if you see it, that two uppercase is again returning a new string. So if I hold this value to the new string and print the n value, now I will get the uppercase letter. Mn, n is already defined, so mn o, say. That is coming to the capital letter. But if I keep on going like this, it will create multiple variables mn no p q r. If I again want to make the changes to the string again and again, it will keep on making the new reference variables again and again and again and again, which will make multiple variables like this mn no. So there is a shortcut rule in Java. What is the shortcut rule one? The shortcut rule one is that if a method returns class type of the data, not compulsory string, any class type of the data. So we have already discussed that method can take input and output. input can be primitive type of the data and non-primitive type of the data, and output can be primitive or non-primitive type of the data or void. Okay, so we have discussed data type hence before that primitive data types are the data types in Java, and non-primitive data type we have discussed means all class type of the data is non-primitive. So method can return any class type of the data. The rule says that if a method is returning class type of the data, and we are calling the method of that class again here, we are calling the method of same class again in our next line, then instead of writing two lines, we can write it in a single line like this. String A is equals to ram dot concat chandar dot to uppercase like this. So it will make a single line only. So what will happen? A value will be assigned at the end when this is executed to uppercase. So what will happen? Ram is a string and this is a string method which is returning a string only, and this is a string method only. Next one. So what will happen? Ram object and then concat will return a string, and then that string to uppercase method will again return a string, and then it will return the string to this A, which I can print like this. So it will give me the same result. So this is a shortcut rule in Java. Both are giving me the same result. Understood? Okay. Shortcut rule. So I will give one or two examples more to understand this concept, because this will be used in our testing, this shortcut rule. So it is very important to understand, because when we'll be writing our testing script, then we'll be using this shortcut rules many time in our program. So again, I will write one or two example more to understand this concept. So I'm creating one more class, shortcut demo one, and here if I write one more method, that is public void get name. I am taking this string as an input. So I'm taking string n as an input and I'm returning nothing, void. And if I just write system.out.println n, it is just printing the value of n. I will create the constructor of the class, and I will call get name method, pass the value Amit. But if I write dot after it, I will not get any options. Here if I'm writing dot, I'm not getting any options because get name is returning void. So when I write dot, I will not get any options available because it is returning void. But if I specify the return type, say as int, and again if I write return 6, so it means when I'm calling this method, I'm passing the value Amit to the n and it is returning int type of the values. So I will store it in int. So what will be the v value? The v value will be 6. So again if I write v dot, I will not get any options available because int is a data type. So similarly, if I do not write v over here and I directly write dot afterwards, I will again not get any options because the method return type is int and int does not have any method available. But if I write return n, which is a string, so again I am returning this return type as string. And if again I write Amit, the value of n is Amit, which it is returning, so which I can store it again in a string v is equals to. And now if I write v dot, I will get the options available. And if I do not want to write v dot, then also I can write dot afterwards and I will get, now I'm getting the options to uppercase. So it will return, it will get the value, return the value n and return the string, and next method of string will be called, which will now store it in v to uppercase, which we can print. Amit. Okay. Again, I'm making one more example. Again, I'm making one more method. Now here I am returning. It's not compulsory that you have to return the string only. You can return any class type of the data. So say I am returning home like this. So where is this home? Home is this home.java which we have created. This class. So now this is a separate class, home.java. This is a class home we have created in our previous examples, kitchen, drawing room. And here we were initializing the class from the main method. My home is equal to new home. But now what I'm doing, I'm returning the home class object over here. Get method return home. Now what we do? If I write over here, home h is equals to new home, and then return h. So it means now I'm initializing this class. Here I was initializing the class from the main method of the same class. But here now we are initializing the home class from another class, that is shortcut demo 2, and from this method get method. So it means if the classes are in a same package, same location, we can call the constructor of one class from another class. And if the class is not in the same package, then also here what you were doing, you are calling the class only, na? Scanner s is equal to new scanner. So new scanner means it is a new class, but it is not coming from my package. So I was importing it. So similarly, you can do with your own class. That is, you can call the class from another class method also. If it is in the same package, no need to import it. But if it is in a different package, that also we'll discuss in our upcoming classes when we do the package, then you can import and then you can initialize it. And then you can return the object here. Now, from the main method, I will initialize this class. And then we use s dot get method, which will return the home object. So we can store return the, like we were returning string, it is returning home. So we can use anything, say HH. And then if I write HH dot, now we'll get the home class methods, drawing room, kitchen, like this. And if I want to use a shortcut rule, then instead of returning the home class and reference, I can directly write over here. I can remove this and we can just write dot after it, and I will get the methods of home class because it is returning home. So I will get kitchen again. So hopefully you are understanding it. And if you have any doubt, then you can ask me. You see, cooking rice. So this cooking rice, it is calling from this home class method, and home class we are initializing from my this class shortcut demo. So this is a shortcut rule number one, which specifies that if a method is returning class type of the data, whether it is home or any class, or whether it is a string or any class type of the data, and we are calling the method of same class again in next line, then in that case you can make a shortcut and you can write a dot after it, and you can get the method of the class which it is returning. Okay, fine. Now coming to the shortcut rule number two, one more rule is there. For that again I am making one more method. Okay, any problem? So now I'm discussing shortcut rule number two. The shortcut rule number two says that if if one method return type is another method input type, then we can call the method from inside the method. For example, let us go back to our this shortcut demo one example. What does this rule say? The rule says shortcut rule number two says that if the method return type here, the method return type is string and another method input type is string. So the shortcut rule number two says that if a method return type and next method input type is same, then we can call the method from inside another method. That is what we can do. This is shortcut rule 2. And what we can do, we can write system.out.println, and instead of writing v, if I just copy all this thing and paste it inside this one, so what will happen? I'm calling this method from the println method. So first internal will get executed, and then external will execute. So first internal will get execute, and whatever the output is, then external will execute. So let us again run it. So this will again reduce my code. It is coming. Okay. So it is giving me the same result, Amit and Amit, but it is reducing one more line. Again, you can use this particular shortcut in this login example, which we have done, this login example. Now again, come to this login example. What we were doing, we were writing check member, this one, which were returning this value s, which I was passing to this. shop. So I was calling two lines here. But what is happening? This method return type is becoming the input of next method. So again we can use or shortcut rule number two. That is what we can do. We can write this one L dot shop, and instead of writing S, if I directly copy it like this and pass it as an input to this instead of using S, if I just pass it over here, so what will happen? Internal, तो एक तो दो लाइनें we have to compulsorily call the shop and shop will automatically call the check member. So here we were calling the two methods separately, but what happened here? Internal will get executed first, this one, and what will be the output of the internal will become the input for the what way of shop method. So instead of writing two lines, again we can reduce it. So if you run again login and you write Parag Saxena, done shopping. It means it is calling two times. This one is also working, this one is also working. Both are correct. Now again I'm explaining this example in one more example. Shortcut rule number two I'm explaining in my this example also. Say I'm making one string x is equals to, so I have created this string Parag, but I have created this P as small, then A capital, then R small, then A and G capital. What I want output of P capital and rest small. This is what I want. So what I will do, if I write x dot to uppercase, for example, x dot to uppercase, and if I print it, so again I'm using shortcut tool. Now again I'm using this shortcut tool. That is internal will execute and whatever the output is will become the input of println. So it will make complete string as capital like this. But I do not want this thing. It will make complete. But I want like this, first capital only. So what I will do, I will break the string character x dot char at 0. So char at is a method which takes the input of a int type and returns the char type of the data. Char at 0 will break the first character from the position 0 and return the character. What character I will get? I will get P here. Now I want to make this P as capital. So again if I write ch dot, I will not get any options available because again char is a data type and data type does not have any method. Ch dot I will not get anything. And x dot will get the string class method which will apply to the complete string. But I want to apply the method only for this character chp. I want to make this as capital only. Then what to do? For that, this is the important thing to understand. If you, Java has provided the helper classes for every data type. These classes are called wrapper classes. Okay, helper classes. Now byte b is small. It is a data type. But if I make b as a capital, b y t e, byte, bb say, and if I write bb dot, so you will get the list of the methods. You see, if I write B dot, I will not get anything. B dot. So byte, when I make B as capital, that is a wrapper class. Wrapper class. So every data type has its own helper class. S capital. Say short SS. SS dot. You will get list of the methods. So every data type has a corresponding wrapper class. For int, it is integer. You have to write complete. So int is a data type, and when I write integer I capital, it will become a class. You can check from here. Integer class, like a string is a class, integer is also a class coming from the lang package. Like we were writing string x dot, so I was getting the string method. So similarly, if I write I dot, I will get the integer class methods. So integer again is a helper class, wrapper class. For long, it is L capital, long, it is a class. For double, it is D capital, sorry, it is D capital. Again, it is a class. Float, F capital. Again, it is a class. And for char, it is character. Character. CHARAC. Character. Like this. Character again is a class. And it has a method. CH does not have a method. But CC dot, you'll get the list of the methods. So class has a method. Class encapsulates the methods. And Boolean also has a wrapper class, which is Boolean. Anything. So every data type has a corresponding helper class, which is called wrapper class. So now coming back to my example again, now I want this char to be capital. For that, I will be using the helper class, which is character, and I will get the list of the methods from where you will get to uppercase. So now this to uppercase method is a character class method, and it is taking char as an input and returning a new character like this, and I will get this P as a capital. Okay. Now I have to make this ARAG as a small. For that, again I have to break this ARAG from this X. For that, there is a method called substring beginning index. Substring is a method of string class which breaks the string from the index position 1. 1. 1 means A, and it will return a new string. What I will get? I will get ARAG. This is what I will get. and then what I have to do, I have to again make this particular string as a small. Now I can use a string class method directly because it is a string. No need for any helper or wrapper class, because helper class, wrapper class is required only when we want to apply the method for the data type. And the string is a class, so we can directly use a string class method, that is y dot to lowercase, which will return a new string, because I told you that whenever you are want to make the changes to the string, we have to store it in a new string, because a string is immutable. Okay, I will arg. Now I will get capital P, I will get small letters, and if I join them together, if I join them together, you have missed something. Okay, okay. So now we can add capital letter and small letters together, and I will get the output like this. Parag. But again, so now the objective of this example is to tell you what is this wrapper classes in Java. Wrapper classes, every data type has a helper class or wrapper class. If I want to make some action on this byte type of the data, I require a method, because method performs the action and data type does not have any method. So what the Java has done, Java has given the corresponding classes for every data type. These are called the helper classes or the wrapper classes. Like here, we were breaking this character P from this string, and I was storing in this character CH, and I want to make it capital. So X dot, if I use X dot, the X dot will make complete string as capital. But I want only this character to be capital. So for that, I am using this helper class, wrapper class, character. And I get this method to uppercase, which will make this character as capital. Substring will break this particular string from the one position, and two lowercase will make it to the lowercase. I will store it in a new string because I am making changes to the string. And now when I add ch2 and yy together, I will get p capital and rest small. But again, it is very long. I can make it short. How can I make it short? This is a long process. One line, two line, three line, four line, five lines I am using. Now I will try to make it in a shorter way. How can we I make it? First of all, I have to print it. So I will write system.out.println. Then inside println, I will execute this character.to uppercase first. And instead of writing ch, like here I am writing ch. So what I can do, I can directly pass this method inside ch instead of ch as our rule number 2. If the method return type here ch and method input type here ch, then what we can do, we can directly pass the method from another method. We can call the method directly from another method. So internal will execute first, and what will be the output of this method will become the input of this method. Okay, so it means we have done this ch2 system.out.println ch2 system.out.println. This will do the same thing. Okay, then plus. So again I will write plus, and with plus substring 1 dot to lowercase. So it is again a shortcut, that is, if the method is returning something, and next method is of same, then we can use dot dot two times. So this internal will execute, and then whatever the output will be, it will be printed. So instead of writing these many lines, we have done the same thing in a single line only. Same thing in the single line only. So that is how we will be writing our code in when we'll be writing our Selenium code. So this type of the code we'll be writing, where you will be writing this dot and dot and dot, and then inside the brackets you will be calling some another methods. So basically, for that understanding, I'm explaining you how we can write the proof, how we can shorten up our program basically. Same output it is giving. Okay, and I think you have understood the concept of wrapper class also. Now one more thing. In this example, I was breaking this string by using index position. That is, break the string arg from index position 1. Now, sometimes in our web pages, I can get the mobile price $50. So I want to get the price only from that particular string. I want to get only price. For that, I can use dollar as an identifier. That is, break the price from where you get the dollar symbol. For that, if you want to break the string by using some identifiers, that is, break the string from where comma is available, from where dot is available, then in that case we can use one more class, that is called string tokenizer class. String tokenizer is a predefined class again coming from util library, which is used to break the string by using some identifiers. Like, take example, again I'm making one more example. For example, I'll make one string by the name of team, where I will add some names like Ram, comma, Sham, comma, Mohan, then full stop, say Sita space Geeta, and say something more, say like hyphen Hari. So these are the names we have written in a single string. But I want to break Ram, Sham, Mohan, Sita, Geeta, and Hari. But how can I break it? I do not know the index position exactly. So I can use these identifiers, comma, that full stop, space, or hash symbol. So these are the identifiers using which I can break down these names. For that, we will be using one class which is called string tokenizer class. String tokenizer str is equals to new string tokenizer, in which we'll pass the string which we want to break, comma, and we pass the identifiers like comma, full stop, space, and hash symbol. Okay. So string tokenizer is a predefined class coming from java.util library. And string tokenizer class takes two input. One is, first is a string which we want to break, and identifiers from where you want to break. Now I do not know how many comma I have, how many full stop or spaces, how many string it will break. So I will make a while loop. While str dot has more tokens until it has tokens, that is comma and full stops are available, and it will break the string Ram is a token, Sham, Mohan, until it has more tokens. It will keep on running. Str dot next token will break the string, and like it has some spaces beginning and ending. So if I want to remove the space, dot trim. So again, this is a shortcut we have written. The internal will execute str dot next token, then trim will trim the data, and println will print the data. So if you see, all the names has been Ram, Sham, Mohan, Sita, Gita, Hari. All the names has been broken down and printed separately. In the same example, if again I show you one more last example, say I have this string is equals to Samsung dollar 50. Now I have this product name and the price. Now I want to break this product name and the price. Again I will use string tokenizer str is equals to new string tokenizer x, which I want to break, and I want to break it by using this dollar symbol, and we have to import this util library here. So now this dollar symbol will break product name and the price both before dollar and after dollar. So now I will not use the while loop because I know two, I will get two things. So I will use str dot next token to get the first element. I will get product name. I will get product. And if you want to remove the spaces, you can write dot trim with it. And again, if I want to get a price, then it will return the data in string format only. Even if it is a number, I will get it in a string format only. String price is equals to str dot next token dot trim. Okay. So product and price, it will break. So if I print it for your reference, so it has broken the two things. Now, if I want to get the discount of this price, if I write price into 10 divided by 100, it will give me the error. If I want to store it in int discount, because only plus operator will work with the string. With a string, only plus operator will work. Plus is used to add the data with a string. Multiply, divide, remainder, these arithmetic operators will not work with the string type of the data. For that, we have to convert a string to int. Now, how to convert the string to int? If I write like this, int uh, p is equals to price, it will give error. I cannot assign the string value to the int value. If I try to typecast it like this, again, non-primitive class type of the data cannot be typecasted like this. Primitive type of the data can be typecasted byte to int to byte. In that way we can do. But a string type of data I cannot typecast it to the int type. For that again we have to use a wrapper class like integer is my wrapper class dot, and the method is parse int, which will now parse int is a method which is taking string as an input and returning int. So now it will return int type of the data price. And now if I want to calculate the discount, then I can use this p to calculate the discount. And again if I get after discount, then p minus discount. And if again I want to convert int to the string, now again I'm reversing it. That is after discount I want to convert back to the string. That is convert int to string. Okay. So if I want to convert int to string, then what I will do? Again I will use this helper class integer dot toString. Another method is toString to convert the string. Now I will use this int as an input toString and return the string like this. Okay. And in that case, if I print this dd, I will get the after discount price. So basically, this type of the things we'll be using in our application when we're writing our application. That is how to break the string, and if I want to do some calculation, how to convert to the int, and if you want to convert back to the string, how to convert it. So these are the wrapper classes we'll be using. I'll get 45. So in today's lecture, my focus was on string. That is how to compare the string. We should not use double equal to, we should use equals. How to take input in a string format. String is immutable. What are the shortcut tools in Java which we can use to write our program? Okay, and how to break the string by using string tokenizer. So if you have any doubt in today's session, then you can ask me. I will share this